Today I want to give you the most important singing tip you'll hear this year. This tip is so important it might just save your voice.
Sound check. Check 1, check 2.
Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Dan. Welcome to Voice Essentials and welcome to 2016. This is my first video for the new year and I'm really excited about what the year holds for us here on YouTube. I've been teaching voice for nearly 20 years or so, and over that time I've acquired a number of handy tips and tricks that help singers to develop their voice and improve their sound, but there is one tip that I give out more than any other. Now, funnily enough, that number one piece of advice that I give is for singers not to sing. Okay, so I'm being a little cheeky here. The advice not to sing is actually about the resting of the voice. You see, as singers, we love to sing, don't we? If you're like me, you never stop singing, but there's the problem right there. We don't stop. You're a biological instrument. You're a finite being with definite physical limitations, and there are dire consequences for a voice that is pushed beyond the margins of its anatomical capabilities. So today, we're going to briefly talk about the importance of vocal rest. Now, there are two main types of vocal rest, absolute and relative.
Sound check.
I think most people think of voice rest as complete silence, no talking and no singing. Now, this is generally known as absolute voice rest. Absolute voice rest is often instructed directly following vocal fold surgery. For example, some surgeons might prescribe absolute silence for 7 days following the removal of a hemorrhage-induced polyp. It's important to note that absolute voice rest or complete silence is generally only advised after surgery. It may also be advised immediately following a vocal fold hemorrhage or during an acute bout of viral or bacterial laryngitis. The voice rest that I'm commonly instructing singers to take is referred to as relative rest. Relative voice rest should be thought of as a reduced vocal load relative to your general vocal output. For example, if you have a vocally intensive job either as a school teacher or as a professional singer, you should look for regular opportunities to reduce your vocal loads, talk less and give your voice a break. These moments of relative voice rest are essential for the sustained health of your voice.
Sound check.
Of course, the other instance when relative voice rest should be employed is during a vocal tract illness, such as an upper respiratory tract infection. Now, it's been my experience that many catastrophic scenarios, sometimes resulting in vocal fold surgery, could have been avoided simply by choosing not to sing at the right moment. Now, I'm not saying the choice to not sing is always an easy one to make. Sometimes the choice needs to be made lest your voice suffer the consequences. And trust me, you want to avoid the post-surgery recovery journey if possible. Prevention is definitely better than cure. One final piece of advice. It can be very tempting to work on your singing 7 days a week. Again, this is an ill-advised practice. Remember that the working parts of your voice are mostly muscle. Your laryngeal musculature requires rest and repair time, so make sure you always give your voice 1 to 2 days off from your practice regime every week. A good practice schedule for beginners is to practice every second day. If you're a professional singer, then I advise you to allow for at least 1 day of relative voice rest a week. Schedule it in. Your voice will thank you in the long run. Well, there you go, the best piece of vocal advice you'll hear from me or any other singing teacher this year. That being said, I'm going to be offering plenty more singing tips and tricks throughout 2016, so be sure to subscribe to the channel and join our ever-growing community of passionate singers from across the globe who, just like you, want to raise their voice in song. I look forward to working with you and your voice during 2016 here on Voice Essentials. I'm Dr. Dan. Sing well.